What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers Live on our Weekday Wagers YouTube channel. I'm Daniel Greer. Stepping in today with me is our guys. It's a Friday, so we got Mark and Robbie here that'll be joining me just very so shortly. But today on the show, instead of the 12-pack, it's the 6-pack for the weekend, and we're going to get you at least through Saturday. We don't have anything for Sunday as of yet, but you can pay attention to justthatsports.com. Let me say that completely clear because mushmouth myself always gets it wrong. But justthatsports.com, you can go over there right now and get set up. You can get the first half off for the first month, which will be very nice. All you have to do is use code DATA100. But these are the dog days of the sports world because hockey, it's fun, but it's not as many games as normal because they're in the Olympics and the NBA is on the All-Star break at this point, and not everybody loves the All-Star game, the All-Star festivities, but we're going to have some place for it today. But let's go ahead and look at how we did yesterday as Robbie came in clutch with a Leon Draisaitl goal. But my NBA parlay, I even said I felt good about it. The teams, I thought they would win. The two teams, the Trailblazers and the Lakers, I thought they were the only ones that were suspect, not the OKC Thunder. But they got boned. And so at that point, we lost for sure. But either way, we're moving on to the weekend. Let's go ahead and bring in the fellas today. And looky, here he is. That's Marky Model. What up, Mark?
DG, Robbie. Look, I'm excited about this weekend. There's not a whole lot going on in the sports world. But, yeah, like you, I was completely stunned that the Thunder didn't roll last night. It was silenced.
Yeah, they got boned. I said it like they're dead to me, and they were already dead to me. They're super dead now. But Robbie, how are you on this Friday?
Great. You could say they got their cheeks clapped, DG, just to make it 2 days straight. I love it that they lost. I'm sorry your bet lost, but I know you had to at least like that they screwed up on small NBA slate last night. But yeah, and Leon, 23 seconds in. I mean, my God, what a beast.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what this is. They're becoming favorites of mine when I see these in the chat. But like anytime there's a reference, somehow, some way, I don't know what this even means. But Joe says Mark looks like he just played a prank on his substitute teacher. I think that was the giggles that you had when we first opened it. I think it was from the Thunder getting boned, and then now Robbie got their
cheeks clapped.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's why that has to be right.
Oh yeah, listen, I heard your intro about the Thunder, and I'm like, he is so damn right. Who had that?
Yeah,
that sort of outlook.
I was just trying not to curse. Like that was I was lost for words because I didn't know what to say without using curse words, and so I figured we'd stay away from dropping an F-bomb in the first 7 seconds of the show. If you know. But let's talk about what happened because looks like USA. They rolled, which I have to say, I watched a very limited amount of that game, maybe a period, maybe a 3/4 of a period in total. But I did see, Robbie, that goal where they passed to one guy and then like it was just like drop off until eventually it filtered back to the guy in the middle who just put it right in the back of the net. That looked gorgeous to me. But the refs did try to mess with him a little bit early in that game.
Yeah, two away from us early in that game. And I was sitting there talking to somebody and I said, the refs haven't been bad so far in this Olympic. Usually I'm already cursing them out in the game. And lo and behold, it was the U.S. game that they made two boneheaded calls. And I'm like, of course, here we go. And it's us. It has to be us if they start making these stupid calls. But like Nate says, it didn't matter. Brock Nelson dropped a stunner on them and we won.
Look, the only thing I can say about the ref calls is that the Latavian coaching staff was absolutely on point with their coaches' challenges yesterday against the U.S. The one was it was an offsides. It was close, but I was under the opinion that it was a correct call for the offsides. The only one I had an issue with was that goalie interference. That is absolute ridiculousness that one got disallowed.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that the refs were horrible all game in that one. I think that the Latavian coaching staff really did play everything to the best of their ability to keep their team in it.
Yeah. And I watched it. I didn't know what the interference was. The announcer actually said, I would be shocked if this doesn't get overturned. I hope I'm wrong. But he explained it and tried to explain it. I couldn't figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out. But it looks like the goalie guy, I think he got his feelings hurt because he couldn't see 20/20 vision at that one moment where you're supposed to be able to see the moment. But I'm not exactly sure because there could have been a skate in the crease. I'm not sure if it was his skate or somebody else's skate. Somebody was in his vision, right? Is that I'm explaining it perfectly right, Rob?
Yeah, to an extent. They grade goalie interference about as well as they grade pass interference in NFL. You can look at one thing and be like, that's clear pass interference, and then another referee says, no way. It's same rules apply in hockey with this.
It's slightly different in the sense that with the international component that it falls under. In the NHL, that is not goalie interference at all.
Correct.
Internationally, it's from the moment that the shot is taken on goal. That he can't be in the crease. And even if you made, just really gentle contact, that's still a no-no on the international side. So in the NHL, they let that one play all day long and nobody even blinks twice at it. Internationally, it's goalie interference.
Yeah, but in basketball, they allow you to do goaltending in a sense because you're allowed to hit the ball off the rim. But here in hockey and international, we're not allowed to stand in front of the goalies. Stupid.
It's so weird. It is so soft. There's no fighting internationally. I mean, you don't see the fights break out, or even after the shot, after the goalie freezes the puck, you don't see the kind of guys getting it in there and mixing it up a little bit. None of that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is opening weekend for college baseball. Mark, what's Boom Boom doing here? He's already mad at Wake Forest. They're already on his ban list because they did. I believe they played at like 8:30 this morning. I believe that my time, maybe 9:30 Eastern. But what is Boom Boom doing over here betting on college baseball and these kids?
Okay, first of all, where were they playing? I don't even know where they were playing that they would.
I don't know either, but it was
like
early.
8:30 in the morning, like Hawaii maybe playing a night game.
I can look real quick and find out for you.
But listen, what's the here's a great question, and I'll ask Rob first. What's the fastest a team or a player has ever made your ban list at the start of the season?
Just look at O'Neal Cruz or Ellie De La Cruz. One of those two probably screwed up at their first at bat and already knew that bet was going to lose. So probably those guys is where I would start.
Okay.
Well, I see where it is. I just found
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Yeah, so they played.
That's still on Eastern time. What the heck? Who's playing baseball at 8:30 in the morning? That's what I want to know.
They must have went to a Bad Bunny concert and still drunk.
Well, the Marshall and University of Evansville, I played them before. I've never played Marshall, but I played University of Evansville. They played at 10 a.m. this morning in Georgia, my time. So it'd be 11 a.m. on the East Coast time. Well, that's stupid too. That was the first two games, but yeah, in Puerto Rico. And so, yes, we're banning them completely. We'll try some baseball here and there. There's so much that go into it, especially early on. You'd have to do a lot of research. I'm not trying to do all that for, honestly, these 18, 19-year-old kids that literally are just trying to hit a curveball still. And some of them are better than others. Sometimes you put your best pitcher on a Friday. Sometimes it's the Thursday you're on the bump. I'm sorry, Friday on your bump. This could be Saturday. There's so much that goes into college baseball. I would say be careful. And good luck. But I did want to bring this up because I saw this and I couldn't figure out what word you were making up, Mark. And I thought the same thing, but I'm glad that Tony Meskery right here is bringing it to my attention because is Latavius Murray from Latvia, since we're making up the Latavian coaches now?
What did I say?
You said the Latavian coaches.
Isn't
I
that
didn't know
the
they were
possessive term?
Is that what they call themselves, the Latavians? Like I call Memphis, we call ourselves Memphians, but maybe you're thinking they're Latavians instead of Latvians. I don't know.
Okay, tomato, whatever.
Just ask it. Listen, I'm not the one pointing it out. I'm trying to stand up for Be More Turp 52, Mr. Metzger. So yes, you add a syllable, carry the one, whatever. All right, let's get to our picks because that's what people are here for. And
Listen,
we have
it still was not as bad as my Oral Hershiser take.
Yeah. Oh my God. You lost me when you called Nico Heischer Horshire or whatever the hell you called him. I was like, you lost me. But I will give y'all credit. Somebody, I was listening to something on YouTube and they were talking about Martin Natchez, another last name you two have trouble with. They called him Neck Ass. So y'all at least didn't call him Neck Ass, but he was called Neck Ass on a show I was listening to, and I was like, well, click. I was like, I don't think they know what they're talking about.
Definitely.
They're not wrong.
We struggle at the names, but all right. Well, it's the time. People want the plays. Let's give them to. Before that, let's get to Seabass.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
All right. Speaking of locks, I love this spot for Friday men's hockey. Puck drop here in just about an hour, so you're going to want to get this one in. I'm going to go with the Swiss versus the Canadians, the first period under 1.5 goals at even money. I love this spot. Canada is the dominant team in this bracket. I love this. The fact that the Swiss are coming out, they played a lot of defense. The Canadians are going to be playing a ton of defense in this first period, especially to get the period started. What I have noticed is that over these Olympic Games, especially with the men's teams, they come out and they start off a little slow. And then if scoring does pick up, it's not till the second half of the first period. So that last 10 minutes. I don't think we see that in this game. I think both teams are going to want the Swiss cannot afford to lose this game. They're going to be very defensive approach with their approach to the game. The Canadians are always going to have their mind offensively. They're going to be looking to score, but I think the Swiss tried to slow them down. And then for my second play, because we'll equal opportunity here. Whoa, what happened there? There we go. Equal opportunity until I mess it all up. We're going to go with the women's hockey. And this is playing 2 team totals. First of all, today, the women's hockey team, the USA hockey team, is taking on the Italians. USA has only allowed 1 goal in this competition. That is 4 straight games pitching a shutout. I love this spot for them against the Italians are just overmatched here. I don't see them scoring at all in this game. And then we're going to go to Saturday, tomorrow's game on the women's side between the Canadians and the Germans. We're going to take Germany's team total under 1 goal. They're playing the Canadians, who just got their ass handed to them by the U.S. women's team. Expect the Canadians to come out and just dominate this game from beginning to end. Germany doesn't see the back of the net.
Yeah, speaking of Canadians coming out, I like Canada minus 8.5 team shots on goal. You have to go to FanDuel to find this. It's in the shot on goal section at the very top. I love this spot for Canada. They shot the puck almost, I think it was around 40 times yesterday in their game. They're facing who the hell they're going to beat the hell who they're playing. Either way, they're going to shoot more than the other team they're playing today. My brain is fried, by the way. Staying up late, doing all of these has fried my brain. And trying to keep up with who plays for Slovakia, Switzerland, my brain's fried, people. Just take Canada minus 8.5 team shots on goal at minus 110 and thank me later. This play, Connor McDavid, anytime goal plus 160. And I'll give you a bonus. Connor McDavid, 2+ points at minus 120. He led his team yesterday with 6 shots on goal. He had 3 assists in that game. He's putting one in the back of the net again today, and Canada's going to roll.
All right. Speaking of coming out, let's have another coming out party here with Con Knipple, the Great White Hope. We're going to go to Saturday night here in the NBA. And I know everybody else is going to be hanging out with their boo thing, doing a little Valentine Day. But Con Knipple, is going to be breaking hearts and winning the hearts of the ladies all around the court as he wins the 3-point contest at plus 300. This dude, the first thing I look at with a 3-point champion or the 3-point contest champion is what guy doesn't need to elevate when they shoot Conca-Nipple very effortlessly. Hard to say. Knock him down. I know he's the favorite, but plus 300, I think Conca-Nipple gets this thing done. All right, my dark horse, the Jace Richardson coming out party dunk contest winner, plus 500. You can get both of these at DraftKings. But guess whose father Jace's is? Oh, that's Jason Richardson. He won it twice. So, yes, you got to think Jace Richardson, who has done dunk contests in college, but also high school, and has won them every single time. Jace Richardson, the guard, shows up and shows out, and it is another coming out party for Jace Richardson. Fellas, thought these picks are really good.
The delivery, not so much, but the picks are fire.
I know nobody else can see this, but behind the scenes, we can see each other the whole time. And there may have been some things said that I could not hold it together. Neither could Mark. And we got Mr. Stumbling, Bumbling, Fumbling over here trying to get through his take without showing any emotions. And it was great. And so hopefully you all caught it. If you didn't, maybe go back because, Canada.
Oh, that's right.
All right. So
sometimes I don't even mean to. It just happens.
It definitely just happens. All right. So let's talk about a guy who is now out of the NBA. And so let's go ahead and bring up a little Chris Paul. And I've never been a huge fan of the person Chris Paul in a sense. But now Chris Paul moving on from the NBA. And at this point, we're talking about a legacy career. And Mark, do you think that if you look back at Chris Paul's career and how he is, the player he is, and honestly, most people should know him, whether it's Cliff Paul with State Farm or if it's Chris Paul on the court, I think there's a lot that he did right within the NBA.
So first of all, yes, I agree with you. I think when you look at his numbers, he is head and shoulders just a perennial all-star.
Right.
But what he did so much as far as really changing the way guard play kind of has grown and developed because of his style. I think the biggest blemish, if you will, on his legacy is going to be the fact that he was never really one of those team guys. You know what I mean? He was never really the leader. He was always kind of that lone wolf who would go out and do what he would do. He never really helped develop a team and carry him to new heights.
Right.
So I think that if there's anything that could be said negatively about his career, just from a playing basketball standpoint, I think that would be the big one.
Yeah. Rob?
My favorite moment is when they were down 40 and he hit a three and he turned around and did this like he did something special. That meme can go on forever. I love that meme. That's my favorite Chris Paul moment. I never was a huge fan of Chris Paul. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Grizzlies had many run-ins with Flop City. Some might call it Lob City out in LA with the Clippers. When there was Blake Griffin there, DeAndre Jordan. They honestly had a really good team, but they never did anything in the playoffs. Chris Paul was a hated man in Memphis, no doubt. But I would say that Chris Paul changed the guard play for the fact that he looked like a maestro with the ball. And we're not giving his eulogy, but I want to give him some flowers a little bit because even though I didn't like the person necessarily or even the player that much, I respected him. And I think there's a difference. And I think you can not like a player, but still respect him. And so at this point, I think, him moving on, I think is probably the smartest thing he could do. But him getting sent out from the Clippers once he was already there in the cover of night, which it seems to be there were some locker room issues. Finally traded. Toronto waives him. And at this point, I think it's best for him to go away because the only place I could have saw him going to was the Lakers. And so at that point, I don't see them being championship contender. And I think he knows that. And I don't think he wants to deal with it. I think he honestly just wants to go away and, honestly drive off and go off into the night and just kind of end this thing. So sometimes it's better to go ahead and walk away than it is to try to keep pushing the narrative. So
it
we'll see.
It is tough to see a player of his caliber, right, get dismissed this way.
Yeah.
It literally is, nope, we're just showing you the door. And nope, it's very difficult for these guys who've been told that they're special all their life to then be told in a very real way, you're no longer special.
Yeah.
And
kind of reminds me of Aaron Rodgers a little bit. He hasn't been shown the door in Pittsburgh, but it's kind of mirroring that same path. If he doesn't, I know he's going on another dark trip or ayahuasca trip that he does in the offseason, and Pittsburgh's like, no, we need an answer like now, because we're trying to actually get this thing back on track. So I could see Aaron Rodgers taking the Chris Paul route if he doesn't get his act together.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you look at a player very similar to Chris Paul, within the league a long time, done a lot, and honestly competed against him, and that's Mike Conley. Mike Conley's still playing in the league in Minnesota, or I guess he'll be bought back and sent back to Minnesota at some point, whether it's already happened or not. I'm not honest. I don't even remember. But when I look at a guy like Mike Conley, he kind of keeps his nose down and he just kind of does his job, and he's still in the league probably, and he should not be. Maybe he's probably worked himself out, but he still brings a vet leadership. The problem with Chris Paul, and the reason they had to get rid of him, is he was too outspoken. And he caused too much, ruffles within the team. And so because of that, there's a ripple effect when it comes to a guy who's just so outspoken. And so with that's enough of the CP, right?
Well, I was going to say, you bring up a great point. I think as players like Conley start looking at how can they extend their NBA career, they start to evolve. Chris Paul's problem was that he never made that evolutionary step of, okay, I need to change how my role is going to be within the team. And maybe I'm not getting as many minutes, but I can still contribute here. That was never his philosophy. He was always still number one option. I want to be the star and center of this offense. And he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, well, I think he changed his game by coming off the bench when he went to LA, the Clippers. But to your point, I think he changed his game to the better along his career. I don't think he changed his mentality, and I think that was the thing that was the ultimate reason he eventually left. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough of Chris Paul. Let's go ahead and move it on through the weekend as we want to talk about some more NBA, but also the hockey that we have coming forward. But I don't want to go too far in advance. Let's end the show on that one, boys, because I think it's time. Do you think it's time? A little early, but I think it's time. I'm going to shoot my shot. All right, we have a new entrant into the saloon, and that is our guy, Robbie Hockey, as we have his Gator Stein, whatever you might call it, but now 2 times in the saloon. Robbie? Oh, a little clappy. That says cheeks clapping.
That's it. Valentine's Day.
Twice, Rob. How's it feel being?
Feels great. I started 2026 on a high note, and my goal is to get at least one more before this year is over. So I'm already on track for that.
Wow, we're setting goals for the saloon. I had no idea.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm gonna mark mine down because at this point, I think needs to be said. It's gonna be disappointing if Mark ever does get in. Like we're at the point now where it's like it feels comfortable not having him in. And so when he does get in, it'll be a little weird. But looking,
it's going to be awkward.
Looking here, Miss Kim still doubled you up there, Rob. Barely got me in my number, but at least I'm in. Mark, Miss Nonsense is in. Tony's in. Boom Boom's in. Joe, the inaugural saloon shot. Joe Neuenfeld. All right, Joe.
He's still probably going to have a problem with how you did that.
I know. I just wanted to make sure I got him his flowers, because Joe Neuenfeld, the inaugural,
the first
winner.
Ever.
That's what it is. He didn't know what inaugural meant. That's what it was. I forgot. My bad, Joe. You are the first ever. Joe
Good
All
God.
right. All right. Let's get to our saloon shot today and let's see what we're working with. Rob, you got some lamp lighters happening. What you got, man?
I do. You can build your own saloon shot with this Canadian team and just throw darts at the names because they probably are going to score. So I went with 3 guys. I went with Connor McDavid. I already talked about his play from earlier. And then I went with Macklin Celebrini, the 19-year-old who scored first for Canada yesterday. I think he can find the back of the net again. And then Brendan Hagel, who's on the second line as well with Nathan McKinnon and Nick Suzuki. I think all 3 of these guys could light the lamp today for Team Canada.
Suzuki?
Yeah.
He's a Canadian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right.
He screwed me yesterday because Sam Reinhart was supposed to be in his spot and he wasn't. So Suzuki got a goal and Reinhart didn't. So
I can't.
That got me. Screwed me. All right, let's go to this. I'm going to go to mine real quick. And 94, that's the number. We're at a plus 1165. We're looking for St. Louis, the Billikens, to get 94 team total points, and then Miami of Ohio, both college basketball, 94 plus points here. So if we're looking at St. Louis, they take on Loyola, who sucks at defense. I think that they're favored by 18.5. I think they can get up to that 94-point mark. And then Miami of Ohio, they have the best offense in all of college basketball. And so because of that, I figured increasing up, these numbers are going 87 is what projected for, the books have 87 as their team total. So we're only going up just a little bit. So I figured a little increase for both. They both play well Friday Night Lights at this point. 94 points for each is very possible. 1165 might get me in. We might be making another new entrant, double time, into the saloon. And then there's this guy. What you got, Mark?
Actually, I kind of like that Miami, Ohio over 94 points. That's a solid look there. I'm sticking with some Olympic hockey. Look, it only comes around every 4 years, and it apparently is going to take me 4 years before I get into the saloon. So I see the correlation here. We're going to go with the women's hockey game today, this afternoon. We're going to take the Italians and the USA under 8.5. I already think Italian is not going to score. I don't see the U.S. running up 9 or more goals on this Italian team. I think that they skate to a comfortable win. They get out to an early lead, and then they just milk this because their ultimate goal is the medal rounds. They've already secured the round robin play. And then we're going to take Germany and Canada also to stay under 6.5. Again, these are 2 perennial teams. They're going to be looking to play solid defense. Germany needs to win this game against, or at least keep things really close against the Canadians. I love this spot for them. Connor McDavid, he will get 2 points, though, probably on an assist and a goal score. And then tomorrow, we're going to take the Denmark against the U.S. men's team. We're going to take Denmark plus 3.5 goals. The theme for the men's, outside of the one game this afternoon, the theme for the men's game have been very close defensive games. And I think we see that. I think the U.S. does win, but I think that Denmark keeps it within 4 goals.
I'm glad you hit on that. These early morning games have very much been unders. Like, I know it's 5 a.m. my time, but I know it's not 5 a.m. their time, but they're playing like they're playing at 5 a.m.
Right.
Like the Sweden and Finland game this morning, I was like, come on, Sweden. You had like 7 power plays and only got 1 goal out of it. It's terrible.
What are the initials for Sweden as well? Do we know?
SWD or
Oh,
SWE.
Yeah, E. I think it's E.
Well, I just wanted to ask that question because I wanted to bring up something.
Swiss.
I didn't know if anybody else saw that, but like it was like and he kept calling this.
I meant to spell out Swiss.
I just thought that was funny.
Oh my God! I'm
Why
an
not?
idiot.
I'm
an idiot.
I think we're all losing our minds at this point.
I meant to spell out Swiss, and then I'm like, oh yeah, just the 3-letter abbreviation. That'll work.
Dude, I watched Traders last night. As my kids were going to sleep, I was watching it with my headphones, and then I took like a power nap. Woke up because the Justice Stat Sports, the parlay picks roll over at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I went in there, got my plays uploaded to the site because games are at 5 a.m. Oh. This is ridiculous. The Olympics are ridiculous. Like 5 8. What are we doing? I don't care what time it is over there. They got to cater to me, damn it. I'm tired of staying up late and having to do this crap.
Well, I'm glad that you took your power nap. Mark, you didn't see any of Traders, correct?
No, not yet.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Banger of an episode. Hell, that was a good episode.
I can't believe they sent Rob R home.
All right, so Rob made it. Okay, I got it.
I thought it was a good episode. We'll get into all of that throughout the week for sure.
Yeah.
But it was another good episode. People are not liking this year, and I think that they're just having their biases shown for whatever reason. But I thought it has been a really good season so far. You're seeing the manipulation of how people can, get people to vote their way or not go look their way and stuff like that. I think the gameplay has been really good. And everybody wants to crap on the faithfuls. Dude, we're watching it. We know who the traders are. So it's easier for our side to see that they're idiots. But realistically, they're friends. They're just trying to get everybody to vote their way. But
I can't wait for Ron for the reunion show. I don't know if you saw the clip. I think you did. I think maybe somebody Kim sent it to us about he's going to go off in the reunion show on everybody. Yep. And he's going to roast people. I'm here for it. I can't wait to hear what he comes up with.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a really good time. And supposedly I think they just recorded. That's what Seabass was saying. They were just recording it. So obviously they all know who won. They're all aware of that. And they're just recording it a little early. So we'll see how all of it goes. But I'm excited to get all this thing figured out because we're 3 weeks away from the finale, right? Or from the reunion.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
2 weeks away from Survivor, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's this week. No, Survivor was not on this week, Scotty. No. Too. I think it's the last week of February.
All right. Well, let's end the show as we'll go through anybody's saloon shots here in the chat. But let's go ahead and look to the weekend real fast. And Mark, I'm gonna let you start off. We have some hockey on the weekend. Mm-hmm. Tell everybody, give I guess a brief snapshot of what games there might be, anything that we're playing other than what y'all already have picks on. That way they can kind of know what to expect on JTS this weekend.
Well, I think on the women's side, let's start with the women's side of hockey. They finished up the round robin segment of this. So now it's the top two teams in each grouping move on to the medal round. And so it's basically a whole new tournament starts again with the medal contention rounds. So I think that we're going to see a much more controlled, tempered kind of approach to games. It won't be the, kind of free for all. Let's get our feet wet and get a feel for the game. I think on the men's side, we're still in that round robin, but I think there's so many messages that are still trying to be set and so many teams still trying to dictate tone for the remainder of the medal rounds. And I think that when you start looking at teams that have very little play for, they haven't won at all in their groupings, start looking at team totals to fade on because those guys have checked out. If they're not moving, it's going to be worse than the end of the regular season because if they haven't, there's no chance for them to progress. They're not going to risk getting hurt in the Olympic game that could affect the rest of their NHL season.
Yeah, Rob, what are you looking at?
Same thing. Florida plays Kentucky tomorrow. I was going to maybe have a play on that, but I decided that's a rivalry. So I don't even really want to put money on that game. I just want to watch it for the rivalry. The slate looks pretty good for the hockey this weekend. USA plays Germany on Sunday, and I think that could be a great matchup. You got Leon Draisaitl and Stützle versus our heavy hitters. I'm very interested to see how that game shakes out. But like Mark said, if you've already got everything kind of packed up, or even if you're out, or even if you're moving on, player props can even be tricky in that one as well. So I'm going to be all about some hockey this weekend, but Florida versus Kentucky is definitely going to be on my watch list tomorrow night.
All right, and Scotty Tuhati's asking about any college baseball picks.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, stay away from Wake Forest.
I bet they lose to Houston, right? They're taking on. I bet they lose. I would go Houston. I don't have any college baseball plays, but there is a college baseball play here. This is basketball, or basketball. That is which ones? Is it CBB? Is college baseball? Or is it NCAA baseball? I think it's TCU UCSB is
baseball.
Oh my God.
It's got to be baseball.
And it doesn't even, I guess.
The St. Louis has to be basketball. Minus 18.5. We're not talking baseball in that one.
Correct. Okay, there you go. So
basketball.
NCAA baseball. Okay, that's what it is. See, college basketball, St. Louis, Montana, and then MSU, which is Michigan State money line plus 1491. So go check that out. I know I already have a play on St. Louis minus 18.5. I do like Michigan State to win, so even better. Pair them up together. Looks good. And then Miss Kim White says McElroy top 10. Justin Rose, who she's fading to be out of the top 10. She has in the top 20. Scheffler top 20. He is struggling. Plus 1329. Any thoughts?
Yeah, she probably could have got some really good odds on Rose being out of the top 5.
Oh, like not in the top 5, but out of it.
If she wanted to fade him that way. Because I don't see him going in the top 5.
You can't pick somebody to not be in the top 5. That's like minus 1,000. All right, let's move on from Ding Dong Mark over here. Tony Metzger. This one's for you, Mark. First soccer saloon shot. Holland 3+ goals. The Gyros Gyokers 2+ goals plus 1090.
Gyokers. That's how they say Joker in Wisconsin. The Gyokers.
I don't know who that is. I've never heard that name in my life.
I know who Holland is.
I do too. I do know that. Any idea who the Gyokers?
No, I don't know who that guy is. I know
that guy.
Yeah,
that's not a guy.
It is.
Vic. Okay, maybe it is.
Erling.
He plays for Arsenal.
Goals, right?
Victor. I don't see a.
Yeah, we just call him Vic.
I don't see a pronunciation guy.
We call him Joker where I'm from.
All right, so plus 1090. Listen, I have no idea, Tony. And then
Best of luck, though.
Yeah, good luck on that. Jace Richardson, slam dunk champion, and Jamal Murray, the 3-point contest champion, plus 1200. I like that one. I don't know if I trust Jamal Murray as much, but I do like Jace Richardson, obviously, and then Jamal Murray everybody has a chance in 3-point contest. Just who's shooting the best that day. And then Taj, he likes Dame Dalla, who hasn't played, out with an Achilles injury, but he's playing 3-point contest to win. I think he's like plus 400, I believe, plus 375 or something like that. So,
how does that man not just put the dollar symbol right there with the L's?
Come on, Taj.
That is on point branding right there.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Oh, here we go. Mark, as much as you hate, you want to give OKC, Nikola Topic coming back was very cool. Mark, why do you hate OKC so much? And why don't you show love to Nikola Topic?
Okay. First of all, my only dislike of OKC. It's not even a dislike. It's I had one play on OKC last night, and it was Chet Holmgren to go under his 20 points. That's not OKC hate. I believe they're talking to you. And how does Boom Boom get that messed up?
I don't think so. I think they're talking about you. But if it was me, I would say I think Nikola Topic was a sleeper in the draft. He's now coming back from testicular cancer. Great story, great dude at this point, to the fact that he's getting minutes to – he's been playing in the G League for, I think, about a week now, and so he was able to come up, play the game last night. So Nikola Topic, obviously a great story, phenomenal player overseas, still young, still very, very young. But yes, Boom Boom.
Is that his last name, or is it Tupic?
It's Topic.
Tupac.
And I
was laughing at Preston saying he's drunk. So if y'all heard me laughing, it definitely wasn't about testicular cancers because Preston said he's drunk.
Yeah,
I wanted to clarify that.
I think Mark and Preston maybe today.
No,
I need to be on y'all's level
for sure. All right, let's get out of here. What you look forward to this weekend, Marky Model?
I'll tell you what. You know what I'm looking forward to right now? If you could literally explain to me what they're doing for the NBA All-Star game, because it doesn't make sense to me. And I know that you look forward to the All-Star game. I guess I miss what it used to be, and not sure what it is now is enough to engage me to watch it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I will say that I've never looked forward to the NBA All-Star game. Never in my life, because even when I was growing up, it was cool to see some of those players play against each other, but it never glued me to the television in a sense, right? Because you saw a lot of the players. I love Penny, saw Shaq, in their Orlando Magic, uniforms. It was Penny guarding Shaq and vice versa. I'm sorry, guarding Michael and vice versa. And so MJ against Penny was awesome. You get to see those matchups because it was a different look. You see their uniforms. It was just a cool effect, right? But in the end of the day, I didn't care much about it. I actually do now. I cared more about slam dunk and three-point contests than I do now. I will watch it somehow, some way. At least I'll get the highlights. But in the end of the day, I care more about the three-point. About the actual game, because the way it all breaks down is there's going to be 8 guys on each team. There's a stars, stripes, and a world. So it's just like pickup ball. You have your team. You're coming in. You're going to take on that team, and the Elam ending, which is the first team to 40 points, wins. And so you're going to have guys that in the first 20 points, it's going to seem a little flowy, go back and forth, not much happening. But you'll catch in the middle somehow, you'll catch somebody going one-on-one. It'll be jokey, whatever. But then as they get closer and closer to that 30-point mark, you're going to see guys lock in. So you're probably only going to get 10 to 15 real points to where guys truly lock in. But at the end of the day, I think you're going to get enough athleticism in the first 20 to 30 points that the last 10 to 15 points will actually mean something. So at that point, the Stars and Stripes plays each other. The winner goes and plays the world, and then the world then plays the loser of the first game. So it's just you play every team once, and then whoever has the best record or the better point differential will play in a championship game. And so at that point, the championship game could not be as fun, especially early, but later in the game, I think it'll be good, if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. It's just it's like NASCAR has adopted their sort of playoff or their breaks in between races where they start all over again and reverse position. It gets confusing, but I miss the days of, you bring up Jordan and Isaiah Thomas when they were going at it. And it was, just such a mismatch in physical dynamics and dimensions. But yet the competitive fire, these guys, they still approach the All-Star game with we're not going to lose this.
Yeah, I agree. And we're not seeing that much anymore, for sure. But yeah, my only gripe with it, you got to think, a team played, they're going to play back-to-back if they win. Okay, they're going to be somewhat kind of fresh, but the other team, because these are truly athletes, they have to get their bodies back to getting, warm, getting their bodies warm and getting started before they can play that next game. The break between the games are so bad. And that's the only thing I hate, is there's a break between these games, because I don't know how you could figure out how to do it, but if there's a way that you could figure out where there would not be a break, that would be ideally what I would do. Is I would somehow find a way to somehow put something in between. My idea was put these other G League games in between and have them off court. So when this game's over, literally you're bringing in the next game because they've been practicing, warmed up. They're ready to get on this court and go. And then at that point, you're talking about the Rising Stars game. And so that would be the only time you would just then have 2 tournaments going on at the same time. That would be kind of annoying. But at the end of the day, I don't know what we're doing. But at least hopefully we'll get some kind of good moments or basketball out of it. So, but it's not everybody's cup of tea for sure. So just kind of like the Olympics. Not everybody likes Olympic hockey, but there's some that like, all right, this is awesome. Like there's moments, right? There's moments. So
yeah,
it's better when you've got a beef. Like Canada and US are rivals. Like that.
Yes.
It's better when you have a beef and you have a team you can actually actively cheer for. I'll say that, and money, and you can bet on it. So that's always
speaking of that rivalry, the U.S. women's curling team just beat the Canadians this morning. So,
boom, put it on them.
I'm just saying.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. All right. That's all we got this weekend. Hopefully everybody has a good Friday the 13th. Don't get murdered, as Alan Cumming says. But
Nice.
this tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Be nice to your significant other. Buy them something. Don't be a dummy and not buy them anything. That'd be the stupid way of doing it.
And if you needed
Unless
us
your wife tells you not to, and even then you still
Maybe
do.
buy her just something.
if
I
you
don't know
needed
what.
us to remind you that, you are in trouble.
Dude, way bad off.
We're just a courtesy announcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just we are scot-free now. We don't have to worry about you being mad at us. But thank you for watching this weekend with us the whole week. Thank you for watching the whole week with us. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully it is a great weekend for everybody out there. But thank you for making today hopefully the best part of your day. But we'll see you all Monday. See you then.